Thank you for clicking the link. This is the Tsunami Volleyball information session for our South location for select teams for the 2018-2019 season. If you're watching this video, our anticipation is that you have an extensive knowledge of our program, meaning you've played with us before, you've done club volleyball a good bit. So what we are discussing in this information session is what has changed from last year to this year. There is an information session for new families that has everything in terms of explanation of what our different levels are and what those mean in terms of competition and travel and all of that. That is a different link you can also find on our homepage, tsunamivolleyball.com. So anyway, this session is what has changed with our select program for this upcoming season. We have a lot more information to give out than we do slides, so forgive me, our slideshow is not necessarily going to follow exactly along with our audio portion of the slideshow. So you may have to hunt and peck a little bit and pause and read some things, but all the information should be here. There is a tremendous amount that is going to be new this season within our select program, and we're going to cover a good bit of that. Costs, tournaments, coaches, etc. The biggest thing is that we are now going to a Monday-Friday format with our training sessions. Our Monday sessions will be skill development sessions. At the beginning of this season, it'll be by position. As we get a little further along in the season, we'll start to do combo type of things and move from there. But our Monday nights will be training. Our Friday nights will begin with little bits of training, but we'll go into teamwork type things, defensive systems, offensive systems, putting athletes together in that regard. And then we will go into competing. So every Friday night you will practice and then you will play. So we want these athletes to have the opportunity to compete a good bit more. Within those Friday night competitions, we have several clubs in town that want to come down and participate with us. So Cobb Atlanta, North Atlanta, our new Central Georgia location, plus some other clubs have all expressed an interest in sending in their select level teams to compete on Friday night. So you're going to get basically a full club model with a Monday night, Friday night competition training schedule. On top of that, we will play an additional 4 USA Volleyball one-day tournaments. 2 of those will be at our location, and then 2 of those will be elsewhere. We anticipate North Atlanta hosting a couple of good one-day tournaments that we will participate in. At least one of those will be an NAVC tournament, and then we're looking at an option outside of that. We will participate in an SRVA tournament one each month, one in January, February, March, and April. So your season will begin immediately after tryouts with our training, and then will conclude in April. One of the reasons we're going to this model is because our elite coaches want the opportunity to work with all of the athletes in our program. So by going to a Monday, Friday, we have pulled ourselves off of traditional practice nights for our elite teams. You should see myself. I'm Jeff. You should see myself. You should see Coach Dunn, Coach Grooms. You'll see a lot of our elite level coaches participating with our select coaches on those Mondays and Friday nights, particularly up until January, February, when we get into tournament season pretty heavily. Also new this season is that our 14 and under select program is a no-cut program, meaning we have a spot for everybody. That you will not have to try out for a team. We do have a tryout listed, and that is a skill evaluation session where we will look at beginning to divide the athletes by skill and by potential. And then we will practice for 3 or 4 weeks before we actually start to separate the ladies out onto teams. But again, we're looking at a training model in the beginning and competing on Friday nights, and then January begins our tournament schedule. Also new for 2018-19 for our select teams is that there is no commitment night. We will take care of all of our paperwork, all of the first payments due, everything at our practices. We'll begin with our first practice. We will have a meeting to discuss exactly what our expectations are and what our anticipation is going forward. And then we'll take care of everything there, including our uniform fittings. Our coaching model for our select program will also be a little bit different than it has in the past. We will have 3 or 4 very qualified adult coaches that are leading our training program, that are doing all of the practice planning and scheduling, and are making sure that everything is being taken care of. Then we will also have several of our 17s and 18 elite level athletes that will be participating on Mondays and Fridays, that will help fill in with training and will help fill in as coaching when we start to compete on Friday nights in our own gym. It'll be great for those ladies. It will also be good for our 13s and 14s to see 17s and 18s giving back and to see what they do as far as how they handle themselves. So we're looking for those ladies to be role models in some sense. In addition to that, as we said earlier, Tad and Tim and Dunn and myself and some of our other elite level coaches will be participating on Monday nights and Friday nights as well. We have included our 10s and 11s pricing schedule in with our select teams. We call those teams our elite just because we typically only have 1 or 2 teams at that age group, but they follow a select model. So we put them in here as well. There's no travel involved. Our 11s will play in one national tournament, but it is here in town. Our 10s, 11s, and 12 select will not follow the Monday, Friday practice schedule. They will follow the same as they did last year, which will be Sunday. Should be Sunday, Wednesday, I believe. 10s, 11s, and 12 select will all practice together. However, you will have the opportunity for our 12 select athletes to come out to some of the training sessions on Monday and Friday nights as we need you there or as you want to. There will be possibly some additional charges there, but it will not be a large number. We want those athletes to get as much gym time as they possibly can. Speaking of gym time, our open gym schedule is out. We have 2 more sessions before tryouts on September 28th and October the 5th. These are at we run these at both locations, north and south, but specifically we're looking at our south location here, 6:30 to 9 o'clock for open gym. Our tryout registration is open and on our website. Please go and register, even though it's a skill evaluation session instead of a tryout, because we want to have as much foreknowledge as we can so we can make sure we get the right size t-shirts and right numbers of coaches out and that sort of thing. I think we covered all the things that are new for our select program at South this upcoming season. As you can tell, it's a huge new model for us, and there are going to be a lot of questions that we don't know that you even have yet. So if there's anything you need to know, please contact us at the phone number or the email address above. The phone number is our office number, and Heather has access to that most of the time. And then the email address goes to Dunn, Heather, and myself. This is Jeff. And so one of us will definitely get back with you. So thank you for trying out with us. We look forward to seeing you in the gym, and we can't wait to have you a part of Tsunami Volleyball for 2018-2019.